T-Man 978 Chill Review. Hello everyone, T-Man 978. Someone asked me if I did my own voice in the intro. Yeah, it used to sound like this when I was trying to sound like the narrator to the old Transformers. But anyway, Leader Class Astrotrain, part of the Transformers Earthrise War for Cybertron Trilogy. And he's a... Did I say he was a Leader Class? I don't know. But here's the box. Yay for boxes. Oh man, I'm stealing other people's stuff now. But anywho, look at him. I've been waiting this guy for a long time. Unlike some of the other Leader Class figures, this one to me, even though he's about the same height as those, where he's basically a Voyager Plus, it actually feels heavy. Like, they didn't cheap out at all, I don't feel like. I feel like they put a lot of money into this. The same way you feel when you get Leader or Commander Class Jetfire, the plastic they use in that. I feel like they did the same thing for here, but not quite the same. They didn't do the same thing for some of the other Leader Class, in my opinion. There's a lot to cover, so let's just get to this. This thing right here, it is his... Damn, I forgot what this thing is called, but it's that thing. It connects to him in his train mode. It's not a caboose. It actually has a freaking name. But as you can see inside of here, you can store his weapons. You can store this gun right here. It has a peg on that side. You can store this one here. It has a peg on this side. You have these two lovely guns. This one looks more like a rotary gun of some type with a scope on it. I just realized it has this little peg there for blast effects, or maybe, yeah, blast effects. You got this big gun right here, and underneath all that, we have this little thing right here, which would be like a mortar cannon or something like that. You can pull that off, and now what they want you to do, or what I should have shown before I actually took all that off, you can actually transform this. You can bring this up like this, rotate it like that, and smash it under there. Now we bring this back up and peg it right there, and here's the peg on this side. Peg that there, and you can plop these off, and if you have trouble, if you push this, it acts like a lever that helps it detach right there. But now we can take this, put it on his back, and he has a weapons locker right there, just portable weapons locker. And of course you can take these things and plug them into his feet. And now he is ready to go. He's taller by not even half an inch. And he's bigger. And what I like to do with this instead of this is detach that. So swing this around, lift this up. And at this point, we can bring that forward. And what I was doing was taking this gun, putting it there, taking this gun, putting it here, and now it's sort of like he has an attack drone on his back, watching his back, and it even has elbows. Shoot, 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 shoot. It can shoot all around. It can shoot out to the side. It can shoot backward and whatnot. So he's protected at all times, and of course he can hold his other guns in his hands, and you can put this little cannon thing on his shoulder. If I can find the hole. Yeah, there we go. And now he's crazy armed up, and I love it. Or if you don't want to do none of that, we can take this off, grab this gun, and this gun, and we can start putting this stuff together. This one plops into there. And now up here, there's a hole in the bottom of this mortar cannon thing that's what I was calling it. We can plug that here. So now it sits under there. And we can take this gun with the peg on the side. Take this one with the peg on the side. And now he has a BFG. It's sort of like a combiner's gun, to be honest. I don't know if I can't. It's been a minute since I've played with the combiners, but I don't remember any of them having a whole bunch of guns connect together to form a weapon. But what's unfortunate here, and this is my one complaint with this figure, really, I wish it had wrist rotation. That is like my biggest desire with this thing, and maybe I didn't show off the articulation, but I'll talk about it now. The ability to look up a little bit more than that. If it had that, I really wouldn't have anything to complain about as far as this figure. I'll almost look at this thing as a retail masterpiece because of all the options and all the things it can do, and the fact that they didn't cheap out on the plastic, and it has good engineering. It's amazing. One thing to complain about, or to warn you about, this is incredibly difficult to detach. Like, incredibly difficult to detach. But one of the reasons why I would want him to have rotating wrists is because if I wanted him to hold this with like two hands, or pretend he's holding it with two hands, if it had rotating wrist, it would be easier to do. But in the meantime, you have to turn it at an angle like that and have him out like this. And so you can see he does have that handle still available, so you can still do stuff like that if you want. From this angle, it's not too awkward. But yeah, if it had rotating wrist, it would be better at that. With all of that out of the way, here's a closer look at him. As you can see, there's a ton of panel detail, like all the frick over him. And his face, he has the metallic paint with the red eyes. The nose is kind of odd to me. It looks kind of cat-like, to be honest. But yeah, he still has the Siege paintwork right there, as he was released in Siege before he came to Earthrise. This is the suggested orientation for these, but you can move it and make it flat if you want. But I'm going to leave it like this. And as you can see, he's pretty much completely filled in. Like, besides maybe a little bit there, and this stuff right here, which I don't think there's any way they could have got around this. And behind the hand that tucks into there. But these wings are like multiple layers of plastic. This thing has a lot of weight to it, amazingly. I'm going to give Extra Zero credit for this because he's the one that told me about it, but he told me he stole it from somebody. If you take this gun, you could port it into his buttocks, and where is it? You can like put that there, and it acts like a stand. So this is what I'm talking about. This is like a retail masterpiece. And I put his other cannons on his arms like a seeker, like this. Now that you've seen pretty much everything, though, let's get into this articulation. The wings, they can come forward a bit. You don't want to do that. And they can go back. The head is on the ball joints, but it only looks up that much. Doesn't really pivot a lot, and it rotates, of course. The shoulders are capable of going out that far. They can rotate. Swivel right there. Double jointed elbows. The wrist does this, but it doesn't swivel. It has a waist swivel, which depending on the pose, these wings can hit that. So I guess that's another reason to do this. Legs go all the way out to the side. Just friction. Comes forward, just friction. Goes back a bit. Swivel. This swivel right here is tight. I mean, it's getting looser now, but out of package, it felt like I was going to break that. Bends less than 90 degrees, and then it has ankle pivot. And if you break the transformation, the foot is capable of going back some like this. So, I mean, that works for me. One issue as far as like quality control that I'm having, this, it stays on there, but it comes off like kind of easy, but not easy enough to aggravate me, because it does actually clip in. See me moving this, but depending on what I'm doing, sometimes it will just come loose. Now here he is, taller than a Seeker by a little bit, but shorter than Soundwave. So he's shorter than Megatron and shorter than Optimus Prime. Since he's on hand, here's my New Age Cosmos. And here's a little Diaclone guy right there. Alright, transformation number 1. What we want to do is, you can leave the head like that. Take the arms, put the hands under here. Now we can rotate the forearms and peg this peg into that part of the forearm right there. Put the arms into that situation. Same thing over here. Alright. Now we can unsnap that part I said gave me a nuisance. Bring that up to this level right here. They do not peg in. It feels like it should. Lift this or detach this right here. And then you pull that out of there. See, this is accordion. Bring that up to this level. And something pegs. Oh, there are 2 pegs on both sides that go into that hole right there. Put that there. Now we can go ahead and bring this up. We need these pegs to go inside of here. So cover that like that. Okay? Okay. Now we can grab here, lift that up, grab there, swing this out, bring, or push that down basically. And these things, I didn't mention it specifically, but shut them right there. And put this here. It doesn't clip or anything, it just stays there. Lift the crotch flaps up like this, which holds his waist into place and stops it from being able to swing freely. Now, if you have this like this, you need to pull it out and bring it there. Put it out and bring it there, straight basically. The feet. Feet need to detach from this right there, that peg right there, and swing backwards and peg onto the back of his leg. Same thing over there. Now this can be kind of difficult. We need to like pull. It's no easy way. The easiest way I can figure it out is put my finger under there. Bring that out. Do that on both sides. Bring that out. Connect this together right here. Make sure that the knees are straight and basically swing that up into this orientation and swing that up. Now we need to combine that and make sure this is pushed all the way. And basically, here he is. He is a space shuttle. This is the weakest mode, but it at least resembles it a little bit. What makes it even weaker is all the bulk right here. That really makes you see all the empty space that they didn't use right here. Like they could, I feel like they planned on giving him a separate shield, making him a parts former, because look at that. He has 2 pegs right there. You could peg that shield on top of here and that would have covered up all of this. You cannot tell me, and now really looking at it, that had to have been what they designed. And I see even 2 slots right there. I think something else goes in here. I'm gonna have to remember when I go to the train mode, but it is very much apparent that something should have covered this to make this look more cohesive and solid. But as it stands, it looks okay in the front. It looks like Astrotrain from the cartoon, but back here it looks like a half transformed robot with a fin. Here is the suggested armament right there. These 2 guns there and the bigger guns right there. And those 2 pegs I said I know a shield is supposed to go in. and this thing right there. So of course you can put blast effects in there. There's a little peg inside of there, and whatever can fit inside of this. And the peg right there, the peg there, and like I noticed earlier, there's a peg there. Or you could put the guns however you want, because there's so many ports. And there's even another port down here and a port there. And is there a stand port in this mode? I don't see one. If someone else figured it out, I know y'all gonna tell me. But I was trying to see if I could still use this as a stand in this mode. But yeah, if I could have plugged something there, or if I could have plugged something there, maybe, but I can't see how I can do that. Now imagine with me, you never touched this thing. You just took it out of the box like this and never touched it. What you're supposed to do is open that up, open this up, open that up, swing these this way, and bring that down. And now, I don't get it, but it's supposed to sit there. This doesn't lock in or anything, but yeah, you can sit them there like that. Or optionally, you can take this, take that, push this there, and plug Astrotrain into this, and now he's prepared to launch off. It's good balance because it seemed like this should fall, but it's not falling. And if you have some Decepticon, well, this is Autobot, but you get the point. You have Micromasters, you can make pretend with that. You can also attach this to Optimus Prime's trailer, and you can attach this to Ironworks and have your own little workstation. So maybe they're over here working on something, then they come to the space station, and then whatever other sets they come out with. You get the picture. Here he is next to a Seeker. Isn't that cool? And no, I was thinking, what if the Seeker mold can fit on this? But it's, let me see. It's bigger, so these things get in the way. I could get one on there, but it's not stable unless I flip it around. So options and play patterns and stuff. Use your imagination. You're a kid again. Yay. To get this off of here, pull straight. Alright. Have to make a correction. See what happens when you don't pay attention to the instructions? If you push this right here, you can squeeze the arms together, and that locks that into place. And then you can bring this up, so that won't be flopping around. But second alternate mode, detach this, unsqueeze that so we can get this forward like this and shut that back. Now we can bring this back there. It's just as simple as the G1 toy. Bring the wing down like that, and bring that in. Now up here, we need to, I'm gonna bring these out to the side. Separate this, and that, and the legs. Now we can go ahead and inside of his leg, pull this out, pull this out, and now this, while these are still rotated out, we need to spin this around, spin that around. Now we can go ahead and click that back together, bring this back. Let's go ahead and rotate this around, rotate that up while these are out, rotate that around, and bring these down to meet it. Bring that down to meet it, and this right here slides down. Come on, you. Slides down so I can meet the ground, even though it's not a real wheel. But now here he is in his train mode. It looks weird because the front is skinnier, but I like it. I definitely like the way this looks when it spins. Even though these don't move, like these are supposed to be what moves the wheels, it still gives off that impression with the way they have it molded right there. And the wheels are pinned in. And how many does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And these two don't work. But it rolls great. I love it. Decepticon Detail comes up here. It's painted with a lot of purple paint. Most damn near all this is purple paint. The windows are painted back here. The silver is painted in right here. So that's really good. With this thing back in its box mode, I showed that off a couple times already. You can shove that there, and now it can roll as one big long chunk. Really like that. I don't know, there's something satisfying about having this all together. When this thing is in a box, it's easier to pull off for whatever reason, but when it's on its back in robot mode, not so much. If you rotate it this way, even though it has wheels right here, it's floating off the ground. So what they want you to do here is put these guns into these things that don't even look like ports. He's like a mobile artillery and transport. Here's leader class Ultra Magnus right here. Ultra Magnus explodes into a bunch of thin panels to form this. But like I said, the plastic on here feels way more condensed. And here is Earthrise Optimus. I don't know. I think I like this better than almost anything in Earthrise. Like, this trailer feels so cheap in comparison to what you get with Astrotrain. It almost feels like a ripoff. This thing is so versatile, it's nuts. But even though he's shorter, like I said, he's very heavy. And he weighs more. I already weighed it off camera. He weighs more than Optimus, even with this trailer. If you want, you can transport Micromasters in there. So that's cool in itself. So there's a lot of play value in this. If kids had patience and enough engineering skills to make this thing do what it needs to do, they could have a lot of fun with this. Me as a 10-year-old with this toy, I would have had so much fun with this. But yeah, now I'm gonna just mess with it, roll it back and forth, probably transform it a couple more times and put it on the shelf. Never to be touched again until I need to do comparisons. Then I'll mess with it and fiddle around with it. But anywho, I really like this set right here. It is awesome and amazing to me. Like I said, I like the materials. I like the engineering. I like that the transformation is like with Earthrise, and I feel like this is an early Earthrise sample that they put into Siege, and they gave it this Siege paint. It feels like they tried to do their damnedest to take G1 transformations and just give them updated articulation, but try their best to keep it with the same type of transformation or the same simple transformation so that kids and parents like me, or parents that actually have to do this for their kids because their kids are collecting it, they won't be frustrated transforming this for their kids. And I really like that. Only thing, like I said, I can complain about is I wish it had wrist rotation I wish the neck could go up more. And I had the minor issue of this thing not wanting to tab secure every time, but it's not too super duper horrible. But anyway, leader class retails for 50 bucks. I haven't seen him for under 50 bucks. I've only seen him for over 50 bucks. Maybe he will be shelf warming like Shockwave all over the place in the future, but right now he ain't. So you can either wait it out or just bite the bullet, and I think it's worth it to me, to be honest. Anyway, thank y'all for watching this. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here. Click the videos, click the videos, baby, click the videos. You should really click these videos, click the videos, click those videos, baby, click the videos. You really should click those videos, click that shit.